What is up, everybody? This is Gunny Badger, and today I am going to be playing the first visual novel I have played in several years. It's called Rising Angels Reborn. The last time I played a visual novel, I believe it was either Face Day Night or Tuskegee, both made by Type Moon, both amazing visual novels and pretty good anime series in their own rights. But anyways, uh, Rising Angels Reborn is a free visual novel on Steam, so if you like what you see, think you're interested, you go ahead and you can download that. I played about an hour earlier, and me being the noob I am, I fucked up the recording, so I'm obviously going to have to redo this entire hour. It's annoying, but you know, learning experience. I'm going to move on with it. But first impressions real quick about this visual novel is I like it a lot so far. It's got good characters. The soundtrack is pretty good. It's got a good art style, and it seems like the universe that it's set in is really nicely thought out. And I know they have a prequel has been made for this game. This is the first official game in the series. They're working on a sequel right now also. I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but anyways, let's go ahead and fire this back up. I guess this is just one of those things, since I'm using OBS, which you'll see me pop up every now and then. It's still trying to get used to it, but freaking awesome. Really awesome intro music to me. But yeah, this is Rising Angels Reborn. About to start getting it going. I know many of you would love for me to be in full screen, but like I said earlier, I'm still really working with OBS. Some of my first times using it. So notice that you really can't play a game in full screen with it. If you know how to do that, go ahead and let me know. You guys need to work with me a little bit. Like I said, fairly new to doing this on a computer. Some of you have seen my videos or Twitch streams in the past know that I do a lot more on PS4 than on computer. So learning, not going to even be ashamed by that. Hopefully you guys understand. But usually yeah, see, excuse me. I usually play in full screen, but I was having some issues actually capturing it in full screen while running OBS. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the game. You never feel as much pride as the first time you are given command, and an instructor at the academy once told me that. There's something to be said about that. My first command was a listening outpost on some backwater swamp planet that didn't even have an official name. I called it my watery hell. My command consisted of myself, 2 automated recording machines, and a virtual intelligence to manage the machines. I was alone during my stint as a lieutenant and a brevet captain. The only thing that kept me sane were the games for my virtual system. I'm pretty sure I managed to beat every single role-playing game known to the galaxy. Sure, there hasn't been very many made since the war for survival started so many years ago, but still. When I signed up to fight, I thought the Katajan Defense Force would have been smart enough to send me to the front. Nope, I go to watery hell with constant mold problems. They sent my classmates, who were far less capable than I, to the front. Those losers got to command task force and fight. And, like I predicted, most of them perished with their commands. They were blind fools, idiots. If I would have been there, this war could have been over by now. Instead, innocent people, brave warriors, and powerful war machines had to be sacrificed to some dumb tactical officer's bad battle plans. Not anymore. She's kind of stuck up in very high regards for herself if you have not noticed. I've been watching the Loadmaster and her droids moving cargo for a few minutes. I might have to inquire if she knows anything about my welcoming party. As I walk up to her, I catch notice of her short stature, non-regulation issue hat. Great, she's a Hoban. During my academy and training years, I never saw too many of them. While nimble and dexterous, they aren't what you would call or A-class students. Most of them are dense as rocks. Even now, she's smiling and waving at me with unprofessional excitement. No bearing, no discipline. Excuse me, but could I ask you a question? Certainly, how can I help you? I glance over her uniform and notice a small insignia that tells me she's a lowly flight officer. If this is the sort of professional treatment my forces give, I'm going to have a difficult time. Still, she is a member of the crew and someone I am going to have to work with on a day-to-day basis. I can tolerate a little bit of it. I am Major Natalie Pukow. I'm looking for the bridge. You are almost there. Thank you for your assistance, Flight Officer. I'm glad to help out. If you get lost, I'll be finished loading soon and can show you around. That's kind, but I should be fine. Don't worry, Kylie. We're here to show her around. Waiting at the end of the hall are a pair of majors approaching me. My real welcoming party, I guess. One of them is a handsome, pale-haired icon. Always fuck that up. With large, creamy wings and a soft, cheery look on his face. The other man. You've gotten soft over the years, Natalie. Maybe I have, but at least I haven't gotten lax with my support. Letting a kid load all the supplies by herself? I expected better leadership from you. I always thought you were asleep during the delegation classes at the academy. You're one to talk. I know you slipped through the first aid course. Does not look pleased. I take it you two know each other? We graduated from the same academy class. Old friends. Is Major Hackett smiling? I know, this may be the sign of the Armageddon. I'm just glad that something could warm my wingman's heart. My name is Alphonse Tenzin. You already know, so wingman. He's got wings. Major Natalie Pukow reporting. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Flight Officer Kylie Miji. I'm not actually a kid. I'm a Hoban. It's nice to meet you, Flight Officer Miji. Though you could stand to listen to Sol a bit about professionalism. He is right about some things. I'm sorry, ma'am. It has been hard just in the military life. Keep at it. Be the best officer you can be. Yes, ma'am. I can see why you like her, Sol. Hush, Major Tenzin. We need to get going and let Natalie settle in before Razun gets her claws out. You mean Commander Razuna? I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. I butcher some of these names. Just going to be real here. I'm going to go back to loading the supply, sir. Please. Laughs all around. Yay. Do you see what I have to go through? That's why I'm glad to see you, Natalie. So I can correct you as well. Here, let me take your luggage. Are you sure? Let's drop these bags off and take a tour of the ship. It's small, but our work is cut out for us. I'd let him. So let Zuri carry all of her luggage without even offering a single shred of help. Zuri can roundhouse kick me through a wall. She didn't need to help. Or Kylie. You packed light, as always. Uniforms and basic healthcare items. I packed just like the deployment list recommended. Excuse me. Most people don't listen to that. They seem to think we have plenty of space on this ship for things like dumbbells and personal effects. I was told that the list was the official record. You were told right. The force is growing so slack. Thank Kylie. Take Kylie, for instance. Beep. Oh, poor Kylie. I don't think we could have had a better quartermaster. She's a wizard with her equipment. Nothing ever stays broken. If you need something, it is stocked onto the net supply run. But you saw how she treats superior officers. She seems to think regulations and professional behavior don't matter if you just do it well. We have those regulations for a reason. We deal with life and death situations. You have to be able to know exactly what the person next to you is going to do. Exactly. You wouldn't believe how grateful I am to have someone here who understands that. Razuna just doesn't understand that being good and being a team just doesn't cut it. Well, I'm here now. Start bringing the ship up to code. Damn right. So you really don't help poor Kylie with her bags? It was okay. I managed. Well, he can help me make it up to you by helping finish loading up the equipment. I think that's the first thing we can bring up to code. Only for you, Natalie. I'll help. Kylie never asks for help when she needs it. Let's show her the power of a trio of majors. I'm starting to believe that the gods may have blessed us with your presence here. If I can still move after this, I'll consider agreeing. Thanks, Soul. I'm only helping because Kylie is our quartermaster. I wouldn't waste my time if some of those boxes didn't contain stakes from back home on Quinn. But then we are going back to the tour. No further delays, please. Deal. Welcome to the bridge. It isn't much, but it beats being stuck in that teeny correlate cockpit. You flew fighters? 2 years on the front line with the KSS Xenon. Sounds exciting. Not when you get caught up in a major conspiracy. Please tell me you aren't planning to overthrow the board of directors while you're working here? My career just can't handle another one. Well, what? On second thought, don't ask. It brings up too many bad memories. Speaking of bad memories, where's your ball and chain? I thought both you and Lena were going to be fire pilots together. Don't ask. Was it that bad? Ask me when I've had a few drinks. You don't drink. So don't ask me again. Please. Sorry. Bad memories, Nat. I never thought befriending mutts could ruin my life in so many ways. Non-humans ruin your relationship? A mutt. Major Hackett? We were talking about a pet a friend of mine had. It turned out to be a rabid dog. Didn't use the term dog. Remember what I said if I heard you disparage your fellow servicemen again? I do, ma'am. And what was that? Immediate discharge, ma'am. That is correct. Major Pukow, you would do well to note Major Hackett's lesson. We are a team here on the Nimros. We work as a single unit. We will not tolerate those who cannot act as a team on my ship. That is the one guiding principle that I must make clear. Yes, ma'am. My last experience with Felicito was not a pleasant one. I hope to not repeat it. I bite my lip. Great. She's one of those commanders who have had a bad experience with our organization in the past. Sure, some of us may be a little cutthroat and determined, but we get results. Stories I've heard from my instructor were brutal. Selling out your command for success was common, not an exception. I don't believe in that mentality. There are limits to how far you can go before you become the monster you are fighting to destroy. Never will I sink that low. You have nothing to fear from me, Commander. Earn my trust, Major Pukow. I want to give it to you, but you need to prove yourself. I will. Damn it, I completely forgot to report in. Ma'am, Major Natalie Pukow reporting in. I'm the Special Investigations and Tactics Officer assigned to the KSS Nimros. Welcome to my ship, Major. She is one of the best tactical officers in the force, ma'am. I've read the training report. Top of your class, correct? Yes, ma'am. How many failed out in your class? Huh? Around 40%. And the average is 20. Why do you think that happened? Lack of dedication. They were not cut out for the service. And what did you do to help them pass? Everything you could, am I right? We fight and die as a team on this ship, Major. Earn my trust. Yes, Commander. At 10:05, we will be holding an all-call for the ship. We will brief our mission to the entire crew. Until that time, you are off duty. Major Hackett will be your guide. Thank you. You have her quarters decided, Major Hackett? Yes, I was going to put her in the empty room. Incorrect. She will be rooming with Captain Moon Apollo. And what were you doing with the empty room? Our ship doctor says he's tired of sleeping in the med ward and laid claim to it. That slimy... Yes, ma'am. That's all. Dismissed. Let's get out of here quickly before she thinks of something else. Wait, I have questions to ask. Alright. Certainly. What are you curious about? I really want to click that, but try to stick to what I was doing in my original playthrough before I saw that I fucked up the recording. So I'm gonna go with a more serious approach. I've read up on the specs of the ship, but the profile suggesting that this version might be different. I noticed that your ship's profile was different than the standard Harper-class command and control ship. You've got a very sharp eye. Yes, the ship was modified in depot. Really? But not for the better. Oh? That all depends. Our crew complement had been reduced due to the removal of the self-defense weaponry. Wait, we have no defensive lasers or cannons? Correct, so we have no weapons officer or loader. Also, our impulse drive is a KDS E591 instead of the standard E598. As much as I want to bluff understand that one, line won't help me here. And what impact does that have on us, ma'am? A larger engineering bay and larger fuel consumption. So a med bay is also removed, but the doctor works out of the secondary research bay instead. Try not to get sick. He's a lecherous demon who has no ethics or Hippocratic oath. He's a non-human, isn't he? If you haven't noticed, Soul's kind of a racist douchebag. An Afric, but that doesn't make him any less of a vile monster. I'll keep that in mind. Please do. It's only a matter of time before I catch him and have him court-martialed. No defensive weapons to protect us from pirates. What about security when I'm at a ground site? We have Zuri. What is a Zuri? Is that some sort of defensive robot? How I really wish it was. I would be able to turn it off then. Lieutenant Zuri is our security officer in charge of defensive systems on the ship, which means she doesn't have a lot to do and seems to find time in her day to just wander around and bother everyone. She wants to help out others. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, Soul. It wouldn't be if she had a better attitude. What's wrong? Is she grumpy? I thought someone like that would work well with you. Fucking got him. Haha, no, she's perky. There have been some days where I just want to tear the happy right out of her soul. Have I ever said that you remind me of a really grumpy cat? Not in years. And you haven't changed a bit. Though she may be a bit overenthusiastic at times, Lieutenant Zuri is confident at her job and will provide you adequate security on away missions. Just don't expect her to shut up at all when she gets on her warrior rant. It would be nice to have someone cheerful to hang out with now and then to compensate for Mr. Doom and Gloom. I'm just realistic and don't lie and sugarcoat things for you. Is there anything else I should know about the ship before we set off, besides the lack of defensive weaponry and substandard parts? Well, that may be true. Most of the crew is relatively experienced in its operations. Despite their laziness and lack of morals, the commander is correct in stating that the crew is decent at their jobs. Don't expect too much, but I do ensure the basics are enforced. Even though he is rough and derogatory. Derogatory is right, because Homeboy is racist as fuck. Soul has never been one to shy away from acknowledging talent. I just wish he'd use it no matter what the outside looks like. The weaponry shouldn't be an issue. I don't intend to send us into any combat zones. Pirates attack, flee, and terror, while not heroic, is a perfectly logical course of action. Thanks for the briefing. The information will come in handy to maximize Nemrose's utilization. I'm glad to hear it. I hate to cut the question and answering session short, but we should continue the tour. You don't want to start your first day tomorrow with no sleep, right? I can feel the first traces of exhaustion beginning to set in. This is the first time I've had to do anything remotely like work in years. It feels wonderful, though tiring. Maybe. Having me mumble through the briefing tomorrow might make it a little more interesting. No doubt. By your leave, ma'am. Rest well, Major Pucal. We expect much from you. Dismissed. Let's go drop off your medical records with the perv and grab a bite to eat. That sounds delightful. I'm famished. If Kylie finished stocking everything, we might be able to make a decent meal from a synthesizer. No cook? No cook. We have some limited cooking facilities, but alas, no cook. I don't think I'd want to eat any more dog food anyway. Lupid food. Same thing. Trust me, Wolfie can't cook well. You can try eating it, but you'd rather have the synth stuff. Because she's a lupid or because she can't cook? Can't it be both? I'm not saying all food the mutants cook is bad, but lupid stuff is just bland and mushy. Try it if you want, you'll see. I can make a decent meal though. I'll make you something nice sometime. I'll have to compare them. Then we'll have to have a contest to prove it. Not tonight. You promise? I promise. Let's get going. Sorry. Good. Quick save. The clang of metal is... Oh, sorry about that. Everything is... Basically, she was talking about how the clang of metal is so much better than working in the hell, what hell she was in. Everything is so clean, so shiny. I did it. I really am back to the real Space Force again. I'm free to have save the universe once more. Happy? Does it show? A little bit. I can't help it. I'm excited, Soul. My first real post, my first real mission. I'm finally off that mud ball. What is our first mission? I haven't checked. My orders were just to report here and then receive my follow-on orders over the secure network. It sounds like they're trying to make it difficult for your first briefing. Hold on, I'm gonna turn up my mic a little so that way it drowns out the music a little. You're telling me. I have faith in you. Sorry, everybody. I have faith in you. Show them how you give a proper intelligence briefing. I am just fucking up bad today, guys. I'm so sorry. Between learning how to work OBS and somehow blanking out with words, you're gonna just have to bear with me today. Thanks, Soul. I know I can't see the orders, but let me know if there is anything I can do to help. I'm glad he reminded me before I asked for his help. Cito orders are restricted to Cito's eyes only. My first briefing can only be written by me. That is the unfortunate truth of my profession. No matter how much I wish I could depend on my crew, I am not a part of it. I am just an attached member. The thought is sobering, bleeding the joy out of my mood. It's lonely at the top. Does my lab have a secure line where I not have to deal with couriers? Only the finest for you. Doesn't seem like this ship has a lot of finer things. Excuse me. It doesn't, but you learn to make do with the things you are given. I'm sure you'll find ways to adapt quickly. Of course. The ship is a stepping stone. I must keep telling myself that. We stop in front of a door in the aft section of the ship. Soul doesn't seem to be pleased to be here, so I assume we have found the ops lab. Soul knocks against the door 3 times without a single response. Finally, he resorts to loud bangs before we get a response. Whoever it is, you know the hours. Doc is not in. The ship doctor is available at all hours of the day. Now, according to your beloved regulations, come back tomorrow, but make sure you book an appointment first. I'm sorry, Natalie, but I'm going to have to resort to some more desperate measures. Why are you apologizing? What are you planning? I wouldn't bother you, Colonel, but our new Cito just arrived and she really needs to turn in her medical records to you. She was very insistent to meet with you right now. She? Well, give me a moment. I might be able to break regulations just this once. Just this once, my ass. From behind a sliding door, I can hear a loud commotion as whoever this colonel is prepares for a visit. You're pretty disrespectful to a superior officer. That thing is not my superior in any way. God, what a racist dick. The door slides open and a dashing Afric with sharp eyes and dull purple hair that falls to his shoulders step out. He looks me over with a kind, warm smile, nothing like the predator I was expecting from Soul's descriptions. He looks like a demon of yore, but his demeanor doesn't feel satanic. Excuse me. Still, there is something odd radiating from him. Power and confidence, yes, but something feels off. Deep in my gut, a small sliver of ice is forming. My. Our humble ship has been blessed with a radiant beauty. My name is Stan Nelson, ship doctor. Natalie Pukow, it is a pleasure to meet you. Oh no, my dear, the pleasure is all mine. I was told that I would need to drop off my medical records because of some privacy act. That's correct, smart and beautiful. We are truly blessed this day. Why don't you come in? I also double as a resident counselor and would love a chance to get to know you. Homeboy is a creep. I don't think so. If she needs to confide in someone, she has friends. An understanding perspective is often needed to truly cope. In the depths of space, my skills will guide any potential lost souls to salvation. Okay, Homeboy is a demon, and he's talking about salvation. Just that irony. Into your bed is more like it. My actions are bound by my Hippocratic oath. What about yours? What do you mean? I'm a doctor and have an oath to never get involved in my patients. They can feel safe with me. Do you have any such restraint? Other than being a trusted friend who wants to protect her from a pervert? You malign me, Major. You both know I'm standing right here and understand this conversation, right? She did not look pleased. Natalie, I think I can handle myself. There's my medical records, Doctor. I look forward to working with you on a strictly professional basis you mentioned. Precisely, my lovely Major, precisely. If you ever need any help or someone to talk to without repercussion, I'm always here. Thank you. Natalie, wait. I'm not slowing down. I know soul means well, but it isn't like I need some guardian angel protecting me from all the bad non-humans. That icy feeling in my gut is warning me to be careful around Stan. Even though he is handsome and charming, I'm not a thing they can use in their pursuits. I'm the Cito in charge of this mission, and everyone, including Soul, will respect that. I'm sorry, My anger slowly fades out as I slow my pace. Even if I had some idea where I was going on the ship, I think Soul got the point. You what? You can take care of yourself, I know. I just don't want to risk losing another friend to a corrupt beast. Learning some of that teamwork stuff the Vice Commander was talking about? Perhaps. Then trust me, it wasn't like I was going to go inside alone for a special examination in the nude. He made that offer to Zuri. And why is he not being brought up on charges for misconduct? Because she is too dense to realize that his medical reasoning was flawed and perverse? But I know you are not. I'm sorry. I should have trusted you to not fall for his traps. To make up for it, why don't I make you dinner? You mean the synthetic stuff out of the machines? Once again, you prove that you can see through a ruse. Will that suffice for tonight? I promise a better meal down the space line. I'm going to hold you to that, Soul. Soul leads me to the ship's lounge and cafeteria. I'm not expecting much from it. Synth food is synth food, but anything to soothe my gurgling belly is welcomed. Welcome to the ship's lounge. It's all ranks since. Watch out! In front of me, all I can see is a black boot whiz past the front of my face. It passes so close and so fast that I can feel the wind rushing across my hair. With a mighty tug, Soul grabs the back of my uniform and yanks me back. He pulls so hard that I stumble and almost slam against the wall of the hallway. A mere millisecond later, a large green tail slices through the air where my head used to be. Before I can react and determine what just about took my head from my shoulders, Soul storms forward. Damn it, Zuri! How many times have Commander Razuna and I ordered you not to practice your fighting garbage in the lounge? Wow, Soul, you've got pretty good reflexes. I've had to develop them because of you. Answer the question. I don't know, a couple? 27 times. Don't you have anything better to do than remember random numbers like that? I wouldn't have to if you stopped trying to kill people. By the way, unrelated, but Zuri, definitely my favorite character. She's awesome. Anyways, oh hey, who is she? The superior officer you about murdered for committing the horrible crime of just entering the room. Huh? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm Zuri. Who are you? Now that she's settling down, I can get a better look at the woman with such amazing speed. She's what were they called again? Do you have any remembrance of the academy? What is the proper procedure for introducing yourself to someone who outranks you? Come on, she's not in my chain of command. You don't have to be quite so uptight, right? Long ears and green hair would tell me that she's an elf. But elves don't have wings. Possibly she could be an Afric like Stan. But Africs don't have shiny, scaly tails. Wronged. I don't care if we are crew dogs or not. We maintain a chain of command and respect during all phases of operations. But I'm off duty right now. What does that have to do with anything, Lieutenant? I think I remember reading about them in a news bit. If I recall the story correctly, they are from some sandy planet in the far northern reaches of the Ryuan Republic. We're just normal people off duty. We're all the same. Regulations don't go away just because you aren't on duty. Besides, Lieutenant, when we launch from port, we are technically always on duty. And, I don't mean to interrupt, but what are you? Huh? Annoying and disrespectful? She meant me. Fucking got him. This is why I love Zuri, because Homeboy's a fucking ass, but Zuri's pretty awesome. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. I've never met anyone of your species before, but I can't remember what you are called. Oh, they're called Dremons. They originate from the planet Onathon. Onathon? It's Northern Rowell, right? Rowton, or Dear Lieutenant and her ilk are loyalists to the Empire. She's right, my home is located just north of the capital world. I even once got to visit the city of Emerald Winds there. An exasperated sigh from Soul tells me that I didn't conceal my interest very well. Still, you don't meet too many people who have heard the melodies of the Emerald Winds. How did you gain entry? Only the loot players themselves are ever permitted. Only the loot players themselves ever are permitted entry into their halls. Pretty sure that's supposed to be or ever. But anyways, I getting off topic. My clan leader nominated me as a loot player one year. Every year, the clan sends someone there to resonate with the Emerald Crystal and perform the Ballad of the Distant Dreams. You've performed the Ballad of Distant Dreams? Great, we're not getting rid of her now, are we? One sec, I gotta sneeze. Sorry, jeez. Soul must never have heard the heart-touching Ballad of Distant Dreams. Even though I've never heard it in person, the soft melody plays in the happiest places of my memory. It's a soft song of hope and loss, for what once was and what shall be. No matter what Soul thinks of the player, if he could hear the song, he could be swayed by it too. That's it. Wow, you really do know it. Of course I do. It's so beautiful. I love it, but I kind of suck as a loot player and can't beat my wings to the right rhythm for the ballad. Oh. Big surprise. But a warrior has to be both a master of the sword and of culture, so I practice it anyways. The elders stressed that a lot to me during my training. But a real warrior doesn't bother with such weaknesses. Did they also stress respecting your elders? Not really. Big surprise. Why are you saying I should be calling you Grandpa? I would eat my heart out with nothing more than a toothpick and claim any family relationship with you. Speaking of food, why don't we go get some and get to know each other a little better? That would be awesome. Alphonse, Kylie, and I were just about to sit down and have dinner. On second thought, I'm not that hungry. Come on, Grandpa. How am I supposed to find my way to my quarters afterwards without a guide? She's with Moonfollow. Take her there afterwards, Zuri. Hey, Soul, don't go. Please, I want to hang out and catch up. I also want to get to understand everyone better. I solemnly swear that I won't accidentally knock you again, Major Hackett. Fine. Try to keep it reined in, all of you. I don't want to have to clean up the lounge again because someone managed to prove that you can stick spaghetti to the ceiling. I still think you did something to your noodles. It's a cooking technique, lizard brain. When the noodle gets close to being ready and the starch gets sticky, you are able to test it by seeing if it will stick to the wall. And then if it doesn't, it isn't ready? Precisely. That makes sense. Why couldn't you just said that instead of that? Why couldn't you have just said that instead of insulting me, Soul? Right, Zuri? He's such a fucking asshole. It's Major Hackett, and I was just stating the obvious facts. You are a lizard. You have a brain. Do you not? I'm not some desert lizard. I'm going to report you to the commander again. But by the time you all stop fighting, the food is going to get cold again. The goop is even nastier when it's cold. If I say I forgive you, could we just drop it? Sorry? You nearly knocked out Natalie and insulted me. But I'll let it slide this one time. Let's just hurry up and eat. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Come, there's plenty to go around. Inside a small room is in... 1 second. Sorry about that, everybody. The dryer was making noises. Where was I? Oh. Inside a small room is an ovid table with a few gray and black chairs surrounding it. Actual chairs with proper covering, mind you. Not the ripped fighter ejector seats I had to scrounge up. To the side I can see the synthesizer for making the usual mush. Excuse me. As well as a few other devices. An oven, a refrigeration machine, and some limited space for food preparation. I'm glad someone added those machines. Because the force is so diverse and every species has their own taste and nutritional requirements, the synthesizer needs to be able to adapt to everyone. Which means it produces some rather bland and unoriginal food, if you can call it that. Still, when I haven't had anything to eat all day, I'll take whatever I can get. Zuri motions to a seat next to her with a mirthful pat on the back. I take it, eager to discover the inner workings of someone who has seen such a marvelous place. Spaghetti with Alfredo sauce? Were you expecting me to visit? Expecting? No. I was just hoping your favorite would convince you to stay. Oh, look at that face. He's a true friend. A little bit of bromance going on right there. Well, it seems at least one thing is going right. Alphonse has a juvenile smile on his face, and Kylie seems to be losing the edge she had when Soul showed up. I know Soul was wrong about this. If the rest of the crew are as interesting as these people, I think this may be an acceptable post. Standard issue blue plate sits in front of me for nearly a second before I pounce. Though there may be no wild creatures that may try to steal it from me anymore, habits don't die easily. Natalie, could I ask you a personal question? It's Major. Forget it. I'm tired of arguing with you all. Ooh, thanks. If she is thanking Soul for finally giving up on me, I dare not ask that question. That fucked me up. Sorry. Why did you join the Force? The age-old question of all deep space adventurers. Well, I was hoping for something like if I had a romantic relationship with Soul or something. That one is embarrassing. Why don't you tell her yours, Zuri? It might make her a little more at ease. Oh, quote pro. It's quid pro quo. I joined right out of mandatory schooling. When counseling time came to discuss job options, he didn't get a single word out before I told him I wanted to join the Force. Why is that? Because if I don't defend my home, who will? The homeland has given me so much to be thankful for. This is the least I could do to repay them. I had so many offers to join in professional racquetball. But I turned them all down. I even had an offer to join Onathon's Olympic track team. I still don't believe that one. She might not look like it. I might not look like it. I'm one of the fastest runners you'll ever see. Good, I always like my security officers being able to run away really fast. Or to those who need my protection. Asshole! Alphonse could not have been more wrong. Zuri's reason is so honorable and prideful that makes mine look so ugly. I joined because I've always wanted to work on fighters. They were so easy. They were always so fast and so cool when I saw them zipping through the air at Duster Station. Go away, Notice. Go away. Why didn't you try to become a fighter pilot instead? Soul was one. Well, I was better at fixing than I was at flying. What she's saying is that she couldn't see over the dashboard. They don't make seats for my height, so I was rejected. I'm sorry to hear it. I'm not. We'd be a flying garbage scow with nothing but synth food to eat. That's what she wants to hear. That her dreams are less important than your stomach. I didn't mean it that way, Kylie. I know. Still, it doesn't sound any less offending. Why don't you tell us why you joined Soul? Why do you care? Natalie already knows why. We've had this conversation before. Well, I would like to know. You never tell us anything about yourself. Because you don't need to know. I'd like to know more about our executive officer. If you don't tell him, I will. Fine, force my hand. I joined because of a program that allows veterans to get special treatment and trade deals. I plan on becoming a transporter. Shout out to Facebook beeping and shit. That was nothing like the romantic story he told me. I don't see you being one of those old fat pilots hauling cargo. It's such a funny picture. Well, there you have it, Nat. What's your reason? Time to admit the truth. If I don't, I could start sowing the seeds of distrust in their minds. I was bored. Bored? This is so embarrassing, but I really was just bored one day and said, I could just go to university to become a chemist, but that's so boring. I think it was boring, guys. I decided to sign up on a whim. But you stuck around to be the best and prove your might and strength to the universe. It's not why you do something, but in that you did it. Exactly. What you do here and now is what matters, not how you got here. Soul flashes me a smile. A small smile. He knows the truth. I came here because my family is incredibly poor. I couldn't afford a university, so I had to find other ways to become the best. There's nothing I hate more than those sad smiles I get when people discover my poor heritage. They don't know what it is like to fight from the ground up with nothing more than your heart. Sorry, guys, my throat's a little dry. That's why I must continue to be the best. I'll conquer peace for Adija, be the hero, and prove myself to the universe. I eat my food quickly and ask Soul to take me back to my room. When I get tired, I get philosophical. My first day is not the place to let myself become that way. This is your room. If you need anything, you have my freak. Don't be afraid to call me for anything. Thanks for showing me around, Soul. It's nice having a friend on this ship again. Good night. Good night, Soul. So this is where I am going to be spending the next few months. I doubt I will be visiting this room much when there is so much work to be done. It is just a tad cramped, but I think I can make a good life here. The crew seems friendly. I doubt my mission is mundane, and I don't have to worry about waking up to giant rats gnawing on my computers. That does not sound pleasant in the least bit. I glance over at my roommate's bed, but she seems to be fast asleep. The commander said she was Captain Moonfollow. I'll have to introduce myself to her in the morning. Excuse me. It's hard to maneuver around in the darkness, so I relent on unpacking and head to bed. Tomorrow, I get to start my job as a hero. This is going to be perfect. What's that? Is another bird stuck in the ventilation again? No. As I look around me, I remember that I've been freed from that hellhole. Somebody is banging on my door with a ludicrous amount of force. Can I just talk about for a second that how I cannot imagine how bad that planet that doesn't even have a name was, that like giant rats gnawing on computers, mold, birds being stuck in ventilations. That sounds horrible. That doesn't sound like it would be. That doesn't sound like it would be Soul. He said that he was coming to meet me here in 20 minutes. He's always punctual, but coming. I quickly throw on a fresh uniform and go to open the door. Sorry about the constant breaks to take a sip of water. Like I said, my throat's really dry because of the other recording I did earlier that I'd throw out. So this isn't the best recording I could have done, but it is what it is for now until I get everything of OBS figured out, I guess. Anyways, back to the visual novel, getting ahead of myself. I quickly throw on a fresh uniform and go to open the door. As the door slides open, an angry-looking kitsune with bright pink hair tied into twin drills storms in without so much as a greeting. Catwoman. And Kika. Where's breakfast? What? You heard me, Faye. I'm not Faye. My mistake. You're not my minion. No, I am not. Still, you seem like you could make a decent meal. You're my new minion. This is making less and less sense as the moments tick on. I glanced at her shoulder and noticed a thin stripe of the lieutenant. Suddenly, I'm starting to understand Soul's annoyance. Excuse me, Lieutenant, but I'm hungry. Chop chop. She is such a cat. Like, cats do not give a fuck about ranks. They're just like, feed me, motherfucker. I'm a major. You know your ranks, right? Behind me, I can hear the rustling of sheets and a loud plop of someone falling out of bed. I want to turn and investigate, but the uppity lieutenant is looking me over like merchandise. Not much to look at, but you've got spirit. I think you'll be acceptable in the ranks of my minions. Lieutenant barging into a superior officer's room. Do you know who I am? No. I'm Kika Star, daughter of President of Earth Julian Star, and the hero of the Xenon. We're on the Nimrose. I know that. And I do not care who your father is. Decorum is critical for all crew members. And who is going to get me breakfast? I have no idea, but I know who's going to get me breakfast this morning. Look at that face. You done fucked up, Kika. You done fucked up. What? You can't seriously order me to go get you breakfast. I am. Chop chop. That's an unlawful order. Breakfast or paperwork, those are your two options. On second thought, I don't think I want you as a minion. So you choose paperwork. I might have just arrived on this ship, but I'm rested enough to do some writing. Morning, Kika. I brought breakfast. Finally, someone reasonable. I thought you said you were going to meet me at the lounge. I kind of slipped in again. Captain Moonfollow, I presume? Uh-huh. Her glassy blue eyes and constant yawning tell the story of a girl who isn't quite all there this morning. It's nice to meet you. I'm Natalie Pucal, your new roommate. I hope I didn't wake you when I moved in. You moved in? Sorry I didn't help. That's why I have to beat on the door so hard. She doesn't sleep so much as she slips into a coma. Totally a dog. It's good to know I won't disturb you when you sleep. Lieutenant Star, was it? Soon to be captain. I'm not such a heavy sleeper. This is your one warning. Faye, did you make the Danish like I asked? Danish? I thought you wanted toast. Whatever, let me see it. Here you go, Major. Pucal, was it? Are you making fun of me? You said breakfast or paperwork. There, all better now. Let's go, Faye. You can make me a Danish. I made today's breakfast. It's your turn. It's still today. They go walking off without paying me any attention. Let's see. She's been that way since I was her upperclassman at the academy. Lieutenant got underneath my skin, but I don't think you should call her a mutt. No, Moonfollow is the backstabbing mutt. Kika is just a puffed up house cat. Look at the toast in my hand. No point in letting it go to waste. The meeting is in 20 minutes. You prepared? It's in 2 hours and 20 minutes. No, I double checked with Zuna this morning. Are you saying you haven't even read your orders yet? I jam the toast in my mouth and sprint out of the room and down the hall. I can salvage this. Really, I can. Gotta love that cliche toast in mouth running to a late meeting thing. This is where I actually stopped with my original playthrough, but because I played this part this time a little faster than I did the last time, I'm actually doing much better on time, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. Let's quick save this real quick. 1 second. Yeah, see, played earlier, but couldn't overwrite this save. 20 minutes later, to the second, I'm standing before the assembled crew with a page of hastily scribbled notes in an anxious-looking soul. Doesn't he know I've got this? There's nothing to be worried about. Excuse me. Everyone is assembled, Major Puko. You may commence. And time hack at 0800 Fleet Standard Time. Welcome, everyone. I am Major Natalie Pukow. I will be briefing you on the newest mission for the KSS Nimrose. The operation will go by the codename Runaway Book. What? A Runaway Book. Okay, this fucking guy right here, that face is just creeping me out. 3 days ago, an all-points bulletin was issued for an American Institute research team that failed to report in at their designated times. The team is currently considered missing in action. Why are you smiling while doing this? You are talking about people that are possibly dead, and you're grinning. While this would normally not require a response, the final report for Dr. Nimian Sunflower, team's xenotechnician, suspected that the recovered artifact may hold some importance to modern transportation. Question: how did an ancient civilization manage to make something that we have to worry about? They're old and ancient. Just because they're old doesn't mean they weren't technologically advanced. Then why aren't they still around? She raises a really good question, people. These are the questions that matter in war. There's a lot of reasons. They could have been wiped out in a war, some sort of viral plague, or simply moved on to other parts of the universe. See, logical, but these two, logical as fuck. Precisely. America isn't in... America. Sorry, isn't filling us in the details of what the expedition was supposed to uncover, so we would be doing a lot of the legwork. They probably just found some old traffic sign. The command feels it important. They probably just found some old traffic sign, but command feels it important enough to warrant a follow-up. Odds are we will find them sitting there dumb and happy. I'm not taking any risks. Investigation work. This wouldn't be the first time, would it, Faye? Nope. Our ground team at any potential site will consist of Major Pukow, Major Hackett, Captain Moonfollow, Lieutenant Zuri, and Colonel Nelson. What? I must agree with Star. The team lineup will not do. That's because you want to fuck me. Be real. You want to fuck me. How so? Wouldn't it not make more sense to keep the doctor here? Well, you're just a coward then, never mind. Should I become incapacitated in the field, I will no longer be able to render life-saving aid. For the sake of those who may be injured in the line of our noble duty, I beseech you not to risk such a valuable asset. You just don't want to risk your neck. Exactly, Soul. It's a fucking coward. I've trained in first aid. I'm a qualified first responder. She wants someone to know this action, Commander. You should give it to her. See, Commander? Does our swap not make sense? See? Yeah, makes sense. Lieutenant Starr, your father has given me specific orders to keep you out of harm's way. Unless I can assess there is no danger, I cannot authorize the swap. But if there isn't an element of danger, what's the point of going on an adventure? Military necessity? But risking a high-ranking officer with valuable training is? I dare not believe that. Believe it. Everyone sit down. Continued Pukow. We are going to the last known location and will attempt to trace their location from there. I don't think we are going to face any dangers, but our current knowledge is limited. Wandering into the unknown always brings a certain level of risk. Flight Officer Meiji, what is the status of our ship and supplies? Everyone is working within approved levels except for a few minor crew comforts. So the aft bathroom is not going to be fixed for a while, is what you are saying? Supplies aren't as good. We got sorted on a lot of our order. We've got roughly a solid month's worth of food and fuel. Then we will make do with what we have. We will file another report on to this fleet sport. I will take care of it. Thanks, Major. I'm not pleased with Command's subpar performances any more than our crew's. I don't have double standards for my subordinates compared to my superiors. Thanks, I think. Crew, prepare for jump. Major Pico, upload your coordinates to the nav section for Lieutenant Star. Major Hackett, ready your ship. But if you have a complaint, voice it later. I want the ship ready for jump in 5 minutes and our course in 3. But now, Lieutenant Star. Fine, come on. The rear lieutenant grabs my arm and finally yanks me into the position on the far left side. Give them to me. The coordinates. If someone sit in there in 3, I have to do it in 2. I click the transfer button and watch the file pop up on the navigator station. In a heartbeat, Kika has pounced onto the station, her fingers flying like hawks as she manipulates the screen. Why do you have to do it in 2? If he said 3, I'm sure he is fine with 3. Because that's the standard. I'm the best of the best. You don't become the hero by simply doing the bare minimum. And because we do, that's why you are all going to be my minions one day. Ugh. The best of things are typically done with the worst of intentions. Still, my mission is more likely to succeed with someone who has the drive and motivation. But something bugs me about watching her type and draw so fast. Is the ship navigation and virtual intelligence not working? Hard to concentrate when you are babbling. Just trying to get a better feel for my ship. Whatever, it works just fine. It just suffers the limitations of all VI. They're programmers? Exactly. My methods are faster and have better results. There is our paranoid. Wait, you're not flying us into a star, are you? No, but I might be flying us through pirate space. It's not like we are going to stop our shift jump and let them attack us. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Natalie, over here. Trust is a limited commodity, especially when I feel the best way to describe her is the candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. So is standing by a small chair that looks rather uncomfortable in the back next to Zuri. We're making the jump. It may get a little rough, so strap in and keep your emergency pressurization device under your chair turned on. Isn't there anything I can do? Trust me, I'll make this a smooth one. Just sit back and watch. I'm not worried about it. Ship accidents making the jump to subspace nowadays are rare. I'm always a little jumpy when we make the jump. You can't do anything to fix a bad jump sitting back here in the baby seats. Why should you have to vocalize my fears, right? All it would take is one little mistake by the hasty lieutenant or the slip of Soul's hand. Could be dead in a millisecond. That's lovely. I love space travel. The science behind getting a ship into the space between space is amazing. That doesn't make it any less dangerous or frightening. One second. Still, I do feel better. Do you feel better? No, now. That is now, not no. Come on, writers. That I'm not the only one who is a tad skittish about this. Zuri's alright. Gotta love typos. Now, how do you cope with it? I'm not scared or anything. Just curious. Night night. Huh? Zuri closes her eyes and snuggles into her restraints. Sleep? How the hell can anyone sleep at a time like this? Between the chaos and noise, there's no chance of sleep. Zuri? Yep, there she goes. Fast talent. All crew, sound off. Flight station ready. Navigation plotted and good to go. Engineering, all green. Non-essential crew are strapped in and secured. The Nimrace is prepared for jump at your word, Commander. Engage jump. Roger, engaging jump drive. Under my seat, I can feel the deck shift from a slow, steady vibration shift to a much louder, much more violent rattle. The warp space generator is beginning its change. The massive power required to tear a rift in normal space is astronomical. If any of the capacitors were to suddenly explode, there wouldn't be even atoms of me left floating around. It's a terrifying thought. I close my eyes, wishing I could fall asleep like Zuri. No amount of personal brilliance can help me if the manufacturer skimped on something for Kylie didn't put her best into her checks. The volume finally crescendos as the capacitors are charged to the required values. Next comes the part that scares me the most. The power is transferred to a Bellino crystal to pull the ship into subspace. Bellinos serve as the focal point. Without it, the energy used to break the holds on the universe would be useless. The material is rare, mined in 3 locations galaxy-wide. I doubt we have a spare. Stop thinking about everything that could go wrong, Nat. If you explode, you won't even have time to feel it. Good point. Shift drive stabilized. My ship, my controls. Your ship, your controls. Advance into the void. Moving forward. It begins. Huh? Oh. And, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and, keep hitting that. I'm going ahead and save it right here. And, go ahead and end the first part of this playthrough with that. Like I said, pretty good game, at least in my opinion. It's pretty interesting. It's got what seems like a really good story to it. Very good soundtrack, pretty nice artwork. But don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, whatever. I will be keeping everyone posted on Twitter and on my Facebook page, which you can find the links to that in the About Me section on my YouTube channel, about when I'm going to be playing the next chapter, or next section of the game, excuse me. And also, if you have any clues of how I could work OBS better and what I should do, what I shouldn't do, any sort of tips, tricks, whatever, constructive criticism, anything like that, don't be afraid to voice your opinion in the comments below. I mean, I'm sure any of you who have done videos or Let's Plays or anything like that understand how difficult it can be to get started. So yeah, don't be afraid to, help me out a little bit, voice your opinion, whatever. But yeah, see all of you. Still fucking up. I'll see all of you later. Bye.